Happy Thanksgiving to you. Hope that your holiday has been good to you and yours. And welcome to our coverage here of the 2014 Sunbelt Conference Volleyball Championships. The field of 8 now down to 6 with 2 more semifinal matches on the way. Up next, it is the number 6 seed, UL Lafayette, against the number 3 seed, Arkansas State Red Wolves. Brent Freeman here with you from Texas State University at Strand Coliseum in this 3-6 matchup as the Cajuns take on the Red Wolves. Taking a look at these two teams, Arkansas State coming in with a record of 20-9. A-State has won 9 of its last 10 games entering the postseason tournament. Meanwhile, UL Lafayette with a 20-12 record. They have won 4 of 5. Two teams heading in the right direction as they take the court here this evening. Looking at the first two results out of the Sunbelt Volleyball Championship so far, the number 1 seed, UALR, defeated South Alabama in a 3-set sweep. And about an hour ago, UT Arlington, the number 4 seed, advanced with a 3-1 4-set victory over Appalachian State. Looking at players to be on the watch for Arkansas State, their libero, Marquis Shadig, the Sunbelt Conference Defensive Player of the Year and first team All-Sunbelt. 707 digs this season. That is a Sunbelt Conference record since the rally era began back in 2001. Her 6.61 digs percent, number 1 in the nation. Meanwhile, for UL Lafayette, their player to watch for, their setter Andrea Hula, the senior preseason All-Sunbelt Conference and a 2-time setter of the week. And Hula will be the one serving to open tonight's match. And we're underway in the 3-6 matchup. Arkansas State returning serve back to UL Lafayette. A lot of action towards the net. Dug out nicely by Auxilian of UL Lafayette, but that is going to be a point for Arkansas State. And the Red Wolves have the early 1-0 lead here in the first set. A-State swept the season series against UL Lafayette. In fact, they have dominated the Cajuns over the years. The Red Wolves with a 43-13 edge over the Cajuns in this series. Good play for that, but that's going to be another point. Arkansas State, the Red Wolves with an early 2-0 lead. Sarah Kemp playing really well after that. The lone senior on this Arkansas State volleyball team from Bellevue, Nebraska. Now UL Lafayette returning serve. Near the back line, A-State bringing it back. And that's the first point of the tournament for UL Lafayette. KK Lockhart, the middle blocker, right of the action, the junior from Houston. Quite a few Texas players on this UL Lafayette roster, 10 of them in fact. 4 more than they have from their own home state of Louisiana. 2-1, A-State in this first set. Auxilian setting it up. Near side, dug out by Arkansas State. Hannah Roby was there, the junior from Longview, Texas. Nice diving save made there by the Cajuns. Masakowski, and that's another point for UL Lafayette, even at 2 apiece. And we'll get the serve here from Masakowski. 39 service aces so far this season. For the Cajuns, it's been a strong point of theirs. Tied for 4th in the Sunbelt at aces. And chalk up another point for UL Lafayette, up 3-2. Nice rally going here for the Cajuns after falling behind early 2-0. The Cajuns in the Sunbelt tournament for the 3rd straight season. They have never won the tournament, and they have a 4-2 lead. Meanwhile, Arkansas State, they have reached the semifinals of the Sunbelt tournament each of the past 2 seasons, and they have earned that golden ticket to the NCAA's 4 times in their history. 4-2, UL Lafayette here in this first set. And that gets behind the back line on the shot there from Stacy Riley. One of the 8 freshmen on this Cajun team. 4-3, A-State. Now with serve is Mallory Warrington, second team All-Sunbelt Conference. 21 double-doubles this season, most of the team. The return from the Cajuns, that ball into the net off of Lockhart. It's now 4-4. Another opportunity here for Warrington on the serve from Lake St. Louis, Missouri. Led this team in assists this season, over 1,100. Good play at the net, but the Cajuns dig it out. Action towards the front of the net. Good block there by Riley of the Cajuns. Saved in by Auxilian. Block of the net. Point, Arkansas State. Well, there, Kaylee Nemeth of the Cajuns system to the Twin Tower combo of A-State. Sarah Kemp was at the net along with Jessica UK. 5-4, Red Wolves. Two really good liberos in this match. That's a point for the Cajuns. You have Kaylin Auxilian for UL Lafayette, 492 digs this year. And Marquis Shadig for Arkansas State, 707 digs. That is a Sun Belt Conference record. That ball goes off. Auxilian point, A-State. And the Red Wolves off to a nice little run here. In front, 6-5. Now serving for the Red Wolves is Kemp. 32 service aces for her this season. Set up from the midline. Saved in by A-State. Played the net. Soft hit. There's a big spike at the hammer down from Gardner. The 5'11 sophomore from St. Martinville, Louisiana. Extremely talented at the net this year with 103 blocks and 18 kills in the two matchups against A-State this season. These two teams met just 6 days ago in Jonesboro, a Red Wolf win. 6-6 in the first set. And that time the Red Wolves get the better of the Cajuns at the net. Good play from UK. As she exits, and now serving is a libero Shadig. Dug out by her libero counterpart, Auxilian, and that is a misplay up close by Riley. Point, Arkansas State. Red Wolves in front 8-6 in this 3-6 matchup. The winner takes on the winner between the 2-7 match coming later tonight between the host Texas State Bobcats, the 2 seed, and the reigning Sun Belt Tournament champions against the 7 seed Georgia State. And right now, the Cajuns having some issues getting the ball back over. 9-6 Arkansas State. The Red Wolves their largest lead of the first set so far. Looks like one of the supports off the net came loose. As the Wolves have the early lead, led by their head coach, David Rear, in his third season. 54 wins as head coach of A-State. Was formerly a junior college coach and extremely successful. 427 wins with an .815 winning percentage, bringing that success to Jonesboro. Boy, that's a beautiful setup by Katayana Castellon-Hill, the outside hitter from Oakland, California, putting it where the Cajuns were not. 10-6, timeout, UL Lafayette. With the Red Wolves on front early, give us a chance to remind you that Screen Tech is the official Sun Belt provider of custom screen printed and embroidered apparel. And Marriott Lakeway, Marriott Metairie at Lakeway. Come dine like a VIP in the newly renovated Marriott Great Room, where everyone is treated like an MVP. Well, looking at some of the early numbers here in this first set with the Wolves in front 10-6. Their kills leader for UL Lafayette, Stacey Riley, has 2 of the team's 3, and 2 each for A-State's Katayana Castellon-Hill and Sarah Kemp. Well, looking more at these two programs, UL Lafayette 20-12 this year, their first 21 season since 1990. They started the year 10-0, but finished 10-12. And they're in the Sun Belt Tournament for the 3rd consecutive year. Meanwhile, A-State, its first 21 season since the 2011 year. And they had a 9-match winning streak up until the last match of the regular season, snapped by UALR, a team that did not lose a single match in conference play. Now 21-0 after their sweep of South Alabama to start the quarterfinal round of the 2014 championships. 10-6, Arkansas State. Red Wolves looking to advance to the semifinals for the 3rd consecutive year. The number 3 seed has won 7 of 9 of the 9 last 9 matchups against the 6th seed, as the Cajuns snap that A-State rally. Now 10-7, and serving for the Cajuns is Riley. At 22 kills and 27 digs in the 2 matchups against the Red Wolves this year. A serve with the right hand, and that falls short of the net. Point, Arkansas State in front 11-7. Last year, Arkansas State won his first round match over UALR in 5 sets as a 7th seed. One of the few 7 seeds ever to win the first round matchup against a 2 seed in the Sun Belt tournament. Good dig out by Shea Digg, appropriately named. Kept alive by the Cajuns. And that goes off the fingertips of a pair of Red Wolves. Kelsey Rice and Warrington were there, but that's point UL Lafayette. 11-8, A-State. Now serving is Gardner. The sophomore. Dug out by Shea Digg. Little touch of the net. And Arkansas State plays that brilliantly. Drew Jones, the freshman, into the play for the Wolves. She comes out. And now serving for Arkansas State is Roby. 17 service aces for the junior from Longview, Texas. One of 4 native Texans for Arkansas State. Decent showing here on this Thanksgiving Day. That's another point for the Red Wolves, by the way, and the beautiful kill from Rice. Third of the team in kills coming into the match. 13-8 Arkansas State. Well attended here this holiday, Thanksgiving. A lot of players, both teams, and really across the Sun Belt from the Lone Star State. A very rich high school volleyball landscape. That's out. That's a point for UL Lafayette. 13-9, the A-State lead. These two teams did not respond well when losing the first set. This is a very important set to get. When the Cajuns dropped the first set this year, they are 4-11. When the Wolves lose it, they are 2-7. The setup, bat the net, the spike, the hammer down, dug out beautifully by Hyerts. Good volley between these two right now. The setup from Auxilian. Behind the back line, and no chance for Auxilian to chase that one down. Been a tough first set so far for Riley of the Cajuns. 14-9, Arkansas State. Now serving for the Wolves is Rice. 29 aces for her this year. Mazakowski getting it over for the Cajuns. Boy, nice dig out there by Hula. Cajuns down 5. Auxilian, the dig. Third hit of that volley. Just crept over by Kemp. Backline setup. And that is the point for Arkansas State. Timeout, UL Lafayette. 15-9, Arkansas State here in this first set. The third match of the 2014 Conference Championship today. Again, UALR and UTA, the winners from earlier today. Glancing at some of the standouts from the first 2 matches. For the Trojans, the number 1 seed, Adina Begic, the Offensive Player of the Year. 13 kills and 10 digs to lead the way for ULR and a 25-13, 25-18, 26-24 win over the Jaguars. Meanwhile, UTA, in their 4-set victory, very competitive over Appalachia State, coming back after losing the first set. Cassidy Wheeler and Amanda Welsh combining for 36 of the team's 47 assists and 21 of the team's 91 digs. A reminder that all of our coverage of the quarterfinal and semifinal round can be seen here on the Sunbelt Digital Network free of charge. And the championship match on Saturday rather, at 1 o'clock. The first serve will be on ESPN3. A glance again at some of the early numbers for you. 6 assists for A-State, 5 for UL Lafayette. A hitting percentage of 200 for the Red Wolves, 037 for UL Lafayette. This year, the Red Wolves third of the conference in hitting percentage at 224. The Cajuns, a couple rungs of the ladder below them, fifth at 203. 15-9, Red Wolves. That is a great play. The hammer put down by Nemeth with the kill, third of the team in kills this season. 15-10. Serve now coming up from Osakowski. Well, no third hit that time for A-State. And a great block up in the net from Sarah Kemp. Arkansas State now 9 points away from taking the first set, in front 16-10. And servers coming up for Warrington. 21 double-doubles this season, most for this Arkansas State team. And it's a tremendous setter for Arkansas State. 4 matches this year with 50 or more. That's out, and it is points Arkansas State. Another serve coming up for Warrington. Second team all conference this year for a team that went 15-5 in Sun Belt play. 3-3 in neutral courts. The Cajuns have not lost in a neutral court this year. They're 4-0. That's a point for the Cajuns. 17-11. Cajuns are down. Service coming up from Auxilian. Just got that one over the net. Nice block up front by Gardner of the Cajuns. That's behind the back line. Point Cajuns, 17. No, they're going to say that it was in. Beg your pardon. So it's 18-11. A-State now with service from Kemp. Working for the back left corner. And there again, at the net, is Jessica UK at 6-1. Rejecting the attempt from Kelly Weissman at 5'11". 19-11, the A-State lead. And there, coming from the midline, Mosakowski with the ball that the Wolves cannot handle. 19-12. Arkansas State service coming up for Katie Kyle. The junior from Pearland, Texas, has only played in 13 matches this year. That's in the net. Point Cajuns. UL Lafayette not going away. Down 19-13. For a team that has lost 9 of its last 13 against these Red Wolves. Point A-State. And now serving is Jadig, the Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Year. In the red Libero jersey, into the net though. That's a point for UL Lafayette, 20-14. Here in the 2014 Sun Belt Volleyball Championships. Brant Ribbon with you. And coming up at 7:30 is the number 2 seed Texas State against the 7 seed Georgia State, who will play the winner of which will play the winner of this match. And right now, both teams struggling with simple service. 21-14 Wolves. And now A-State will send Jessica Hyers to serve. The sophomore from Webb City, Missouri. Set up for the midline. Rejected by Rice. She has been everywhere so far today. Team high 90 blocks, comes up with a big block there. 22-14 A-State. Service again for the Wolves. Dug out by Shadig. She's made a habit of that today. And unable to handle that is Riley, the freshman from Houston. The Wolves can smell this first set victory. In front 23-14. That ball just got over the net. What a beautiful serve from Hyers. Cajuns unable to handle it. 24-14. Set point. A-State. Hyers to serve again. There's Auxilian on the dig. Nice play and the touch from Mosakowski. 329 kills for her this year. 18 times in double figures. Keeping the Cajuns alive. 24-15. A-State. Gardner with service. The dig out by Hyers. The third hit to Kemp. Gardner the dig. Good volley, these two. Could be the set point here for the Wolves. And it is. Arkansas State takes set one. Red Wolves in front 25-15 as we switch sides. Our coverage of the 2014 Volleyball Championships brought to you in part by CCI, your total sided solutions specialists. And also in part by Under Armour. Visit UA.com today to see Under Armour's full range of performance gear. Or protect this house. I will. So the Red Wolves take the first set and have the early advantage. And again, we mentioned it before, the Cajuns have not done well playing from behind. They are 4-11, losing the first set. Looking at the numbers at a 25-15 A-State win. The kills leader was Sarah Kemp at 4 of them. The Wolves' lone senior trying to make the most of her final Sunbelt Conference tournament. Off to a good start. Sarah Mosikowski for UL Lafayette had 3 kills of her own. Assist leader, all 8 of the Cajuns' assists, courtesy of Andrea Hula. Meanwhile, for the Wolves, 7 of the 9 from Warrington. 21 digs for A-State. And they were second in the nation in digs per match, 17.9. The number 1 team of the nation, well, they're heading to the semifinals. UTA, 18.2. Again, they beat App State earlier today in 4 sets. Of the 21 Red Wolf digs, 4 of them belonging to Kelsey Rice. 6 for Marquis Shadig, the Sun Belt leader and record breaker with 707 this year. 18 digs for UL Lafayette. 6 for Caitlin Auxilian, their libero. Well, last night they hosted the 2014 Sunbelt Conference Volleyball Awards Banquet. And the Player of the Year, the Offensive Player of the Year, that belonged to UALR, the best team in the conference this season. Adina Begic winning those honors. Coach of the Year, Van Compton. As the Trojans went 26-4 in the regular season, 20-0 in Sunbelt play. Defensive Player of the Year, we're seeing her in action right now, Marquis Shadig. So the Red Wolves, these two teams, it's worth noting, wear very similar color schemes. They're in the white jerseys here today. Black shorts, UL Lafayette, and the red jerseys and the black shorts. 25-15 was Arkansas State's opening set victory. Again, you look at their season this year, 20-9. After starting the season 1-4, pretty impressive September on forward for Coach David Rear and the Red Wolves. Their .690 winning percentage, the best they've had in 10 years. Again, two teams having one of their better seasons in recent memory, but one going home here today. Arkansas State will start with Hannah Roby in service. And the Cajuns look to even this third match of the 2014 Sunbelt Conference Tournament. And anything can happen to these tournaments. We saw it a year ago. A huge upset of the number 1 seed, Western Kentucky, by the number 8 seed, Troy. The 6th seed has had issues in cracking through this round. They've only won 2 of the last 9. UL Lafayette to buck that trend here today. Here's Roby for service, the junior from Longview, Texas. Second set underway. That's a quick point for Arkansas State. And it's 1-0 Wolves. Service again coming up for Roby, the right-hander. There's the dig from Mosikowski. Set up at the net right there is KK Lockhart. Had one of her best matches of the season against Arkansas State. Season high 12 kills in the first match. Did not play in the match last week in Jonesboro. So we're even at 1 apiece. Service for Hula. There's a dig from Shadig. Set back up for Kemp. Dug out by Riley. Mosikowski cannot get that one in. 2-1 Arkansas State. And service here for the Wolves coming from Rice. Into the net. Evening it at 2. Coming up at 7:30, we'll take a look at the reigning Sunbelt Tournament champion, Texas State. No team of the Sunbelt has been to the NCAA tournament more times than the Texas State Bobcats. They've been there 9 times. Shadig with the dig out. Point, Arkansas State. Credit the play of Marquis Shadig. First team All Sunbelt Conference Libero for a reason. 42 digs in the November 2nd matchup, a career high for her. And the defensive play of the year. And we're seeing it on display here on this Thanksgiving afternoon. 3-2 A-State. Mazakowski the dig. Set up. Rice rejected. Kaniana cast it on Hill at 6-2. Not having it. And the Wolves, who are in front, 1-0, have a 4-2 lead in the second set. A soft serve from Warrington. And the soft return from Nemeth. But it's out. 5-2 Arkansas State. 3 consecutive points for the Red Wolves. Warrington for the back right corner. Hula with a back set. That goes off the hands of Arkansas State. That'll break that 3-point rally. And now service coming from Auxilian. Into the nets. Mistimed by Nemeth. 7-3 Arkansas State. Or 6-3, beg your pardon. Wolves making a sub. They'll take out Roby and send Drew Jones to the front line, the 6'1 freshman. One of the 13 underclassmen on his A-State volleyball team, most of all the Sun Belt teams in this tournament. Shadig setting it up for her freshman. That is a point for Arkansas State. Not much real estate there for Jones. Found just enough to keep it in. And now it is a 7-3 Red Wolf lead. Kemple to serve. Auxilian the dig. Shadig the return. That's a point for the Cajuns. 7-4 A-State. As the Cajuns making the 3rd consecutive trip to the Sun Belt tournament. They have never won the Sun Belt Volleyball Championship. And they have some work to do right now. Down 1-0, and now down 8-4 here in the second set. Service from Shadig. And her digs per set led the nation this year. With the service, Hula fooled the Red Wolves on that one. What an impressive player, by the way. The senior from Oslo, Norway. 1,275 assists this year for Hula. 85% of the team's total. 61 blocks for a 5'10 player. Racked up the assists in this 2-match series against the Wolves this year. 75 of them. 36 digs on top of that. And the Cajuns have something brewing here. 8-6 with service coming up from Riley. A pair of 20-win teams. And Kemp denied. Chanel Gardner was right there. Going to be an impressive player moving forward for this Cajun program, led by their 7th-year head coach, Heather Mazetas-Fontenot. 103 wins as Cajun head coach. Was at Louisiana Tech 7 years before that. And now a chance for the Cajuns to tie. Riley with serve. Jones digs it out and is set up. And that's a great play made of the net by Hula. Making the most of that 5'11 frame. And now the Cajuns on a bit of a rally. They have scored the last 4 straight. Standing serve for Riley. Jones is set up. Beautifully done. And the Red Wolves take the lead back. Now picking out for A-State is Castedon Hill. Into the match, and now serving is Hyerts. Hula, the setup. Gardner, blocked by Jones. Arkansas State's volleyball program is going to be good for a while. A team that went 20-9, 15-5 in league play, and only one player gone at the end of the season. Just one senior. As the Cajuns come within a point. Meanwhile, UL Lafayette with seniors on their team. Nemeth, Hula, Weissman, and Auxilian. 4 very important players to Coach Fontenot's program. 10-9, the A-State lead. Jones, the freshman, serving it back over. And unable to save it in is Kemp on the dig. Diving attempt. Goes for naught. And we are tied again at 10. There were 4 ties in the first set, 2 lead changes. A-State eventually took control, winning at 25-15. Gardner the service. Kemp the dig. The setup. Misplayed by UL Lafayette. And A-State back with the lead. Remember, just tuned again to the 2014 Sunbelt Conference Volleyball Championships here on the Sunbelt Digital Network. Getting you caught up. UALR won the first match of the day, the number 1 seed with a sweep over South Alabama. And UGA, the 4th seed, a 3-1 win over App State. So far it's been chalk in the tournament. A-State looking to keep it that way. In front, 1 set to none. And now in front, 12-10 here in the second set. Roby the service. Dug out. Hula, the back set. Into the net by Kyle. And the Wolves rallying again. In front, 13-10. Roby again on the serve. A running start. Gets behind the back line. Service back to UL Lafayette and to Hula. 2-time Sunbelt Conference out of the week. Preseason All Sunbelt Conference. 20 double-doubles for her. Second to the Sunbelt. Shadig with the dig. Nice save there by Heyerts. Again for the Red Wolves is Heyerts. Auxilian to Masakowski. Shadig is there once more. Kemp. Point, Arkansas State. Impressive start to the tournament for Sarah Kemp. 14-11, the A-State lead. Looking to take a commanding 2-0 lead over the Cajuns as Shadig comes out. Third hit. A soft one from Kemp. Kept alive by the Wolves. Nice save from Riley. Good volley right now. And that is a point, Arkansas State. No, they're going to say point, UL Lafayette. With some confusion there, as we see head coach David Rear talk to our official. 14-12. Competitive second set so far. The Cajuns had 15 points the entire first set. Auxilian the save there for UL Lafayette. The block at the net by UK. 54 blocks this season. Second for the Wolves, a team that ranked 6th in the Sunbelt in the 11-team volleyball league in blocks, averaging about 1.8 per set. Hula setting it up, but too far to the near boundary from Nemeth. Wolves back in front by 4. Front line change for the Cajuns. Out is Nemeth. Into the match is Weissman. One of the 10 Texas natives for the Cajuns from Willis, Texas. Did not play in the match against the Wolves last week. Coming up with another play at the end is UK. For the Wolves, timeout. 17-12, A-State. Already in front, 1 set to none. Our coverage of the 2014 Sunbelt Volleyball Championships brought to you in part by Levy Marketing and Awards, innovating the art of recognition with custom awards. And by Molden. Molden is proud to be the official volleyball of the Sunbelt Conference. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us online at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Oh, looking at some of the match stats so far. And right now, the advantage in kills is 7-5 in this set for Arkansas State, with 7 assists. 9 digs for UO Lafayette to the 10 of the Wolves here in the second set. 4 ties so far here in set number 2. A-State has not trailed here in the second set. A team looking for its 10th win in the last 11 matches. In front 17-12 now. And with service. Warrington to do the honors. And that is out. Another point, Arkansas. No, it is a point for UO Lafayette. 17-13. Backline service coming from Auxilian. The libero. Kemp the dig. Set up back to Kemp. Hula. That's a point for Arkansas State. In front, 18-13. As they look to continue their dominance over the Cajuns, they've won 43 of the last 56 matches against UO Lafayette. Jones has a dugout by Riley. Great save by Shadig. Back to Jones. Hula is there. Auxilian. Hula rejected. Setting it up for Masakowski. One of the longest volleys we have had in this match comes to an end. Point Arkansas State. 19-13 Wolves, 6 points away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead. Kemp serves. Masakowski the dig. Backline setup. And that is a point for Arkansas State. The field of 8 down to 6. It'll be down to 5 at the conclusion of this match. Right now the Wolves the advantage at 1-0, leading this set 20-13. That trimmed down to a 6-point lead. As the Cajuns make a sub. Out is Wiseman. Katie Kyle is in for her service. Let's do the honors of the running start. Shadig is there. UK shot, dug out. Nice setup by Warrington for Castedon Hill. 21-14 Wolves. And now Shadig to serve, and a timeout called for by A-State. Well, giving you a bit of a preview of the match we have coming up at 7:30. The number 2 seed Texas State against the number 7 seed Georgia State. The Panthers making their first ever Sun Belt Conference tournament appearance. This is the first time in postseason play in any conference since 2011. Started the year 2-8, but finished a respectable 8-11, and they qualify for the Sun Belt tournament in the second to last match of the season with a 5-set win over Troy. Meanwhile, looking at Texas State, the longest tenured head coach in the Sun Belt, coaches the Bobcats, Karen Chisholm, in her 35th season. 801 wins in her career, 6 amongst active Division I coaches, and a 5-time Conference Coach of the Year. The Bobcats lead the nation in attacks percent, very aggressive at 39.2. 8 conference tournament titles, their last coming a year ago. In Troy, Alabama, the Bobcats' first ever Sun Belt Conference tournament. The Bobcats boast the Sun Belt's Freshman of the Year, right side hitter Jordan Cole, and the preseason Center of the Year, last year's tournament most outstanding player, Kaylin Mahoney. Bobcats figure to be a factor in the Sun Belt tournament here this weekend with the home crowd behind them as well. Panthers going for the upset. Stay tuned at 7:30 for that match. 21-14 A-State. Closing in on a 2-0 lead. Warrington is up. Shadig is right there for another dig for the Wolves. She has been everywhere so far tonight for Arkansas State. Hula, the back set up at the net, dug out again. And that is points. Cajuns 21-15. But now UL Lafayette in desperate need of a rally. Riley to serve. 22 kills, 27 digs in 2 matches against the Wolves this season. Now with the task of serving. Warrington with a setup for Jones. And the Cajuns had no shot at catching up to that rocket off the right hand from Jones. 22-15 A-State. Hires now to serve. Hula trying to catch the Wolves off guard. A-State is right there, and for another points. Now 2 away from winning the set. Masakowski unable to keep that one in, going off the net. 24-15. Set point for the Wolves. Hires to serve. The dig. Back over by Auxilian. Auxilian again there to keep the set alive for the Cajuns. Shadig on the dig out for A-State. And the Wolves take the set. Arkansas State, the number 3 seed, 1 set away from advancing to the semifinals, taking a 2-0 lead over the Cajuns with another 25-15 set victory. So with the intermission between the second and third set, we will step aside on the Sunbelt Digital Network. It's A-State 2, UL Lafayette nothing. Getting ready for the second set, or the third set rather, as we are through 2 sets here in this 3-6 matchup. Arkansas State in front 2-0 over UL Lafayette with a pair of 25-15 set victories. Looking at some of the numbers so far, the Cajuns at minus .053 in hitting percentage right now, while the Wolves are at .169. Your leader for UL Lafayette, Andrea Hula, with 11 assists to the team's 13, 7 digs so far, doing everything she can to keep the Cajuns into the match. Meanwhile, for Arkansas State, the conference's Defensive Player of the Year, Marquis Shadig, off to another tremendous start. 13 digs for her, the team's 40. Here in the first 2 sets, a team that was second in the nation in the regular season in digs per match at 17.9. And right now, the Wolves also the advantage in blocks. They have 8 so far through 2 sets. They're averaging about 2 per set in the regular season. In the first set, 4 ties, 2 lead changes. In the second set, 4 ties. Again, no lead changes, though. The Wolves never trailed in that second set. Now on the verge of their 11th sweep this season, while the Cajuns looking to avoid getting swept for the 3rd time this year. Winner moves on to the semifinals to take on either the number 2 seed, Texas State, or the number 7 seed, Georgia State. But the Cajuns have some work to do. A team that has stumbled a bit down the stretch. Started the year 10-0. Have gone 10-12 since then. And have struggled against this Wolf program over the years. 13-43. The last 56 matches against Arkansas State. The Cajuns will have service to open the third set. Doing the honors, Auxilian, their libero, the senior from Mandeville, Louisiana. Gets a third set underway. Warrington setting it up for Kep, and a nice start for the Cajuns. Gardner is there for the block Up at the net, Gardner, 2 blocks in the first 2 sets. Service again from Auxilian. Nice diving dig there from A-State. But that's a point for UO Lafayette, despite the best efforts of Roby. 2-0 Cajuns. Off to a good start. Shadig. There's Kemp. Auxilian the dig for the Cajuns. Kemp again. Hula with the dig out. Just touched back over by Masakowski. That's out. That's a point for the Cajuns again. 3-0 UL Lafayette. Early stages, third set. Third consecutive serve, or fourth now, for Auxilian. That's another, well, that is the first point of the set for the Wolves. Kemp keeping that just inside the line. And the first serve of the set coming up for A-State, courtesy of Kelsey Rice. So far, 2 service aces for the Wolves, 1 for the Cajuns. That's a point for the Cajuns. Gardner again in on the play for UO Lafayette. 4-1 Cajuns, down 2-0. And Kyle on set for service. Warrington losing the height advantage there. That 5-7 against the 5'11 Gardner point. Cajuns. This their largest lead of the entire match. UK has that one blocked by Gardner. But a beautiful point there with that. Kemp on the kill. 5-2. UL Lafayette, A-State back in service. Warrington in for service. Well, that time Gardner got caught up, mistimed the setup. And the Wolves back-to-back points, first time in this set. In front, 2-0. Again, the Cajuns have not lost at a neutral court this season. But down 2-0 here as Hula puts the Cajuns in front 6-3. And fans and family members and friends from both programs are in attendance at Strand Coliseum on this Thanksgiving afternoon, turning into the evening. Good play from Castadot Hill at 6'2", the junior from Oakland, California. Actually played some junior college volleyball here in the state at Blinn Junior College. 5th in the team in kills for the junior. 6'4" now. The Cajun lead. Now trimmed to 6'5". Hula setting up for Gardner, dug out by Shadig. Jones saved in by Kyle, but the Cajuns cannot keep the rally going. 6-all after the Cajuns held an early 4-0 lead. Diving in Masakowski. Shadig to Jones. Auxilian is there. Riley digs out that shot from Jones. Masakowski, the hammer down. And Shadig, a rare time. She has the ball eater up. 7-6, UL Lafayette. The libero was out for UL Lafayette. Now Auxilian to the bench. Gardner the serve. Kemp, the dig. The set by Warrington. Cajuns a shot there to take a 2-point lead. Instead, we were tied at 7. With the Cajuns clinging to their season. Down 2-0. We've already had one sweep today for the number 1 seed, UALR. And denied is Lockhart. Running into the wall of Jones and Rice. at 6-3 and 6-1 respectively. A-State leading for the first time in this set, 8-7. We are tied again. Hula serving now for UL Lafayette. She's been really the best player on the court so far for the Cajuns and their head coach, Heather Mercedes-Fontenot. Effort was there from Masakowski and Riley. The point was not. 9-8 A-State. As they bring in Hires to serve. Seemed as if when she had service, a lot of rallies went in A-State's favor in the first two sets. Shea Dig there for the Wolves. Jones off the net, just pushed back over by the Cajuns' Lockhart. The dink for Hula. The set by Auxilian. Back to Hula. Point Arkansas State. Leading 10-8 with service. Just over the net. Warrington with a setup and the finish from Jones. And now the Wolves pulling away and a timeout called by UL Lafayette. 11-8, A-State. They were once down 4-0 in this third set, leading 2 sets to none. A reminder of the semifinal matches coming up tomorrow, the first of which will take place at 4 o'clock here at Grand Coliseum, the home of Texas State University. And we'll have the coverage here for you on the Sunbelt Digital Network. That'll be UALR, the number 1 seed, against the number 4 seed, UTA. Meanwhile, at 6:30, the 6th match of the tournament will be between the winner of this match and the winner of the 2-7 matchup between Texas State and Georgia State. The championship match coming up on Saturday, 1 o'clock here in San Marcos, and can be seen live on ESPN3. Looking at some of your third set figures so far. A 158 hitting percentage for A-State, an even 0 for UL Lafayette. The Cajuns do have 9 digs to the 8 of the Wolves here in the third set. Your kills hitter, Chanel Gardner, has 3 of the Cajuns' 5 in the third set. 2 each for Casadon Hill, Jones, and Kim for the Wolves, who lead it 11-8. Service from Hires. Hula. And just getting it over Masakowski. Good effort there from the Wolves to keep it alive. Hula setting it up for Nemeth, but that's another point for Arkansas State. The Wolves could be pulling away. In front, 2 sets to none, now leading by 4, their largest lead of the third set. That is a point. UL Lafayette by the slimmest of margins. Nearly a service ace there for Hires. Instead, it's 12-9. Now Masakowski now doing the honors for the Cajuns from Frisco here in Texas. Good-looking junior. Great play of the net right there from Lockhart from Houston. 10 starts so far this year, starting again here today. 12-10, the A-State lead. Masakowski's serve dug out by Shadig, and that eats up the Cajun libero Auxilian. 13-10 Arkansas State. Jones is out for the Wolves in favor of the smallest player for either roster, the 5'5" Hannah Roby. Hula setting up for Riley. Points, Arkansas State. Just beyond the back left corner. 14-10 the Wolf lead. Roby again serving. Shady doing everything she can to keep it alive. Auxilian for the Cajuns. Warrington, back set, too strong for Rice. 14-11. Auxilian and the all black and the yellow shoes. Serving for UL Lafayette. Kemp gets that one to roll off the net. Nobody there for the Cajuns in position to make a play. 15-11 A-State. Wolves 10 points away from a sweep and a trip to the semifinals. Service from Rice. The dig by Riley. The setup for Gardner. Point Cajuns. Gardner playing very well in the two matches against the Wolves this year. 18 kills and 4 blocks in the two meetings. She leads this Cajun team with 103 blocks this year. Another play at the net there from Gardner. Saved in by Riley. The dig for the Wolves. Kemp with the loft. Gardner setting it up for Hula. Right there is Shadig again. Back to Kemp off the net. Saved in by Hula. Riley. Not there. Good volley. Riley. Behind the back line. 16-12 Arkansas State. And now service coming out for Warrington, the sophomore from Lake St. Louis, Missouri. 9 different states represented on this Arkansas State roster. 4 from the home state of Arkansas. That mess cleaned up by Shading. Who else? That's a point, Arkansas State. Gardner just couldn't keep that in. 17-12. The Wolves closing in. Auxilian, Hula, Masakowski. Great defense from Arkansas State. One of the best defensive teams, if not the best in the Sun Belt. And now they are 7 points away. Timeout, UL Lafayette. 18-12 Arkansas State. Well, revisiting our 3 to watch for this match. We spoke highly of Marquis Shading, the sophomore libero from Arkansas State. Sunbelt Conference Defensive Player of the Year so far in this third set. Shading with 4 of the team's 18 digs. Mallory Warrington for A-State, the sophomore, second team All Sunbelt Conference. So far, all 6 of the Wolves assist here in the third set to go along with 2 digs. And outside hitter Sarah Kemp, the senior, the only senior on the team. 3 of the team's 8 kills here in the third set. Our 3 to watch for UL Lafayette, the setter, Andrea Hula, the senior, preseason All Sunbelt Conference so far with 3 assists and a team-high 5 digs here in the third set. Sarah Masakowski with just 2 digs and only 1 kill in this third set. Led the team in kills this season with 329. And the sophomore Chanel Gardner, the middle blocker, with a really strong third set, 4 kills for the Wolves. They won the first 2 sets, 25-15, 25-15 in front, 18-12. And the Cajuns now out of timeouts. Masakowski, too strong. 19-12, Arkansas State. The Cajuns at one point led this set 4-0. Warrington serve. Return by the Cajuns. Shadig, Warrington, point, Arkansas State. This Red Wolf team will be tough to beat in the semifinals if they can hold on. 5 points away from a sweep. Kemp denied. by Mazakowski. Gardner with a soft touch. Shading saves it in. That's a point for the Cajuns. Too many hits on the A-State side. 2013 Wolves. Service coming up for Riley. The freshman from Houston, starting all 32 matches this year for Coach Mercedes Fontenot. That got the better of Auxilian. 21-13 Wolves. Rally time for UO Lafayette. Their season on the line. For the Wolves, 4 points away. Kemp service. The dig from Riley. The setup for Mazakowski. Jones has a dugout by Auxilian. Back to Mazakowski. Point. Cajuns. Mazakowski does not want her junior campaign to end just yet. As Libero comes out Auxilian. Front line help subbed in for by the Cajuns. Down 7. And that is a bad serve from Gardner. 22-14 Wolves. Shading in service. Hula. That's a point for Arkansas State. 2 points away from a sweep. Lofty serve from Shading. Hula trying to catch the Wolves off guard. A-State is there. Kimsit, dugout. Warrington, Shading, Jones. Not there. Kemp puts it over. Dugout by Auxilian. Hula back to Mazakowski. Blocked at the net by Castedon Hill. And the Wolves are 1 point away. Set and match point for A-State. On the verge of their third consecutive trip to the Sun Belt semis. Not quite yet. Hula keeping the Cajun season alive. The first 2 sets ended 25-15. By now it is a 24-15 A-State lead. Service coming up for Hula. Jones. The block. The point. Arkansas State. This set. This match is over. The Red Wolves advance in a 3-set sweep. Their 11th sweep this season as they beat the Cajuns for the third time in 2014. This time, the victory putting the Wolves into the Sun Belt's Final Four. 25-15, 25-15, 25-15. The A-State victory as it remains chalk here in St. Marcus. The number 1 seed, number 4 seed, and number 3 seed have all advanced with one more quarterfinal match to go. Coming up at 7:30, it's the number 2 seed, Texas State, against the number 7 seed, Georgia State. Again, it's coming your way here at 7:30 tonight from St. Marcus. Thanks for tuning in to quarterfinal action of the 2014 Sun Belt Conference Volleyball Championships on the Sun Belt Digital Network. We'll check back in about an hour as the Bobcats of Texas State take on the Panthers of Georgia State. We'll see you in a bit from Strand Coliseum in San Marcos.